A new pilot program for LA Metro has music blaring. Find out why some are not happy about it.
Viterbi School of Engineering receives one of the largest naming gifts in the nation. We'll take you to this afternoon's celebration.
California Governor Gavin Newsom visits another college on his campaign for democracy. We'll hear from students.
Annenberg TV News is next.
LA Metro is trying to reduce crime and drive away unhoused people with loud classical music. Hi, I'm Ethan Huang.
And I'm Rachel Hallet. Some argue this tactic is counterproductive, even inhumane. Reporter Jack Reid has more from passengers in LA Metro.
One Los Angeles metro station has generated controversy after using music as a deterrent for homeless populations. The decision is part of a recent push by LA Metro to improve safety and customer experience. That also includes limiting entrances to the station and adding more cameras. Metro users have criticized the effectiveness of these steps.
Well, the initial reaction was indeed that it is kind of loud. It is somewhat disturbing, but I don't see it helping very much because I still see the same thing as I saw on other stations where they don't have this.
Other riders have called out the potential risks of playing loud music on the platforms.
I feel like it's very dangerous. Somebody could get hurt and nobody will hear them cry for help. So I think they really need to keep the music cut off.
I think there's other better ways to combat that. I think that's just one way of trying to push them out. Me personally, I don't think that's going to help.
We spoke with a representative for LA Metro who declined a request to comment on camera. A statement via email says, "This entire effort is aimed at turning the Westlake MacArthur Park Station into a space Metro riders can use for its intended purpose, accessing the public's transit system." One music scholar worries that exposure to loud music can not only disrupt sleep and thought, but also result in a loss of connection to the self. For Annenberg Media, I'm Jack Reid.
Governor Gavin Newsom met with students at the new College of Florida in a campaign to speak out against red state policies.
Not first identifying it. And the problem in our country right now, authoritarian leaders who are so
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis recently took aim at the new school for being too woke and named 6 new conservative trustees to the board. Newsom's campaign is a tour of the South to support fellow Democrats and push progressive values. He stopped at the new school to talk with students about fighting against DeSantis' attempts to control the college. We spoke to students about their thoughts on Newsom's visit.
Seemed to be very receptive to everything we were saying and generally just appalled at what we had to say. There were times where he looked mad.
And I don't think that the Newsom family was able to get a clear enough, real understanding of the demographics of what students have to go through that do have those identities on campus. Mm-hmm. Because we were all there complaining at them, but they didn't actually get to hear the individual stories of those things happening.
Florida students have been concerned about the direction of the school since DeSantis' involvement, but they're hopeful for reform after Newsom's visit.
USC's Department of Biomedical Engineering has a new name. It's now known as the Alfred E Mann Department of Biomedical Engineering after a $35 million donation. Mann was a USC trustee, physicist, and philanthropist whose foundation gifted the money. The Trojan Band kicked off the monumental event. According to the Viterbi School, the $35 million naming gift is among the largest donations given to a biomedical engineering department in the USC. Both the Dean of Viterbi and President Carol Folt spoke at this afternoon's event.
And when you name a department under a visionary like Al Mann, it's not simply the resources that come along with that, but it is the name association. People elevates by its name in itself the stature of the department, just by that.
You know, it's exciting for the students because they depend on working with faculty in great labs, and this is a gift that helps us continue to bring in bright faculty, really outstanding students. So it's an investment in that research, innovation, and educational mission, so that's what they like.
The Viterbi dean said the new name and rising reputation of the school will help engineering students with their education, extracurricular activities, and securing better jobs after they graduate.
USC is now a member of the STARS College Network, a national network of top-tier universities that recruit students from rural areas across the country. This comes after USC's recent enrollment report revealing a record low of 9.9% fall admission rate. USC joins 15 other schools in the network, including Caltech, Yale, and Columbia, who reach out to young students in small towns in an effort to create pathways for those who might not recognize the full range of educational opportunities for them.
Hearing that USC is starting this initiative where it kind of makes the effort themselves to reach out to students from smaller rural towns, I know will make a huge difference, in the confidence of being able to do so financially, academically, but I think more so the morale of just knowing that we as students have capability to pursue things past high school. And so I work in the admission center as a tour guide. I know I personally would have loved when going through the admissions process, and I know that a bunch of students from smaller towns will absolutely appreciate.
In the past 4 years, USC has admitted about 650 students from rural areas.
The votes are being counted after the special election in District 6. That's where voters in the eastern part of the San Fernando Valley are choosing a council member to take the seat left vacant by Nury Martinez. She's the councilwoman who resigned after her racist comments were caught on tape. The top 3 vote getters are Imelda Padilla, Marissa Alcaraz, and Rose Gregorian. Padilla leads with a close to 26% of votes. Alcaraz is in second place, followed by Gregorian. If no candidate gets a majority, there will be a runoff election between the top 2 candidates at the end of June. Welcome to Around the World, our look at global news. Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen met with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy today at the Ronald Reagan Library in Simi Valley. Speaker McCarthy reaffirmed the U.S.'s commitment to working with Taiwan, and both exchanged words of gratitude. His historic meeting caps President Tsai's 10-day tour of Taiwan's diplomatic allies in the Americas. The Chinese consulate in Los Angeles issued a statement yesterday calling the visit a separatist activity and opposes any interaction between the U.S. and Taiwan. Across the Pacific, Chinese President Xi Jinping is set to meet with French President Emmanuel Macron and business executives. Both presidents are expected to discuss the war in Ukraine and the fraught economic relationship between China and Europe.
If I'm honest, I was probably more than a little shocked to be here.
Finally, former New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern gave an emotional farewell speech to her nation's parliament today. She thanked her family and friends and called for her fellow members of parliament to tackle climate change. Ardern will formally resign next week. One state takes a bold step towards securing abortion access. Find out how they stock up on abortion pills. In honor of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, get ready to learn about the upcoming events in supporting sexual violence survivors.
I'm here outside USC Hillel as Passover festivities are about to begin. Find out about the holiday's traditional meal next.
Worried your friend's struggling but don't know how to reach out?
You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could write them a text or knit them a sweater if
Worried your friend's struggling but don't know how to reach out?
You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could write them a text or knit them a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write them a letter. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again.
Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Throughout the next few weeks, USC will be hosting several events and workshops to provide support and resources to students. USC Relationship and Sexual Violence Prevention and Services had a kickoff event at the Trojan Farmers Market today. They shared more information on upcoming events. One member spoke about the goal of this month and their heart behind the work.
I think it's very known that sexual violence is a really big issue on college campuses here at USC and all college campuses across the United States. Obviously, I think we should be thinking about sexual violence all throughout the entire year, right? But this month, we're really going to be trying to bring awareness to the event and bring awareness to the situation at hand and what's happening on college campuses, and really bring support services for survivors of sexual violence.
Events include various resource fairs, arts and crafts, a film screening of Legally Blonde, and even trauma-informed yoga.
Washington state officials have bought 30,000 doses of mifepristone, a major abortion drug, in case a federal lawsuit bought by anti-abortion groups is passed. Governor Jay Inslee described the precautionary purchase of nearly a 3-year supply as an insurance policy in case the drug becomes inaccessible. The Washington state government says about 60% of the state's abortion come from these pills. Government officials are expecting the demand for these pills to rise due to abortion being outlawed in some states. Indiana Republican Governor Eric Holcomb signed a bill today banning all gender-affirming care for minors. It is the 13th state to adopt these restrictions. Studies show that gender-affirming care reduced chances of depression or thoughts of suicide in over half of trans teenagers. Additionally, trans care for minors is endorsed by major medical associations like the American Academy of Pediatrics. Indiana's law will go into effect July 1st. Trans young people in the state currently taking medication to transition will have until the end of this year to stop doing so.
What sport has no referees or judges and players make the calls? Let's hear from Ingrid Gessert for more.
Thanks, Ethan. The answer is ultimate frisbee. This week I went to a practice for the Division I women's, trans, and non-binary team, the Hellions of Troy. The team describes the sport as a combination of soccer, basketball, and football because the goal is to get the frisbee in the end zone. They're currently training those throws for an upcoming tournament in San Luis Obispo. A couple members will even compete in the World Championships in Nottingham, UK this summer. They spoke to us about the importance of the game.
We have something called the spirit of the game, and it's just important to keep the spirit up. We make our own calls, and so it's just been really fun for everyone to learn the sport, learn the rules, and we just have a lot of fun.
So I would highly recommend the sport to anyone, like even if you come from a totally different background. So it's like kind of a network that you can literally play in any city, and there's like kind of a culture going on.
It's really cool. It's something you don't know about until you know about it, but then it's giant once you do.
You can join in on the fun during intramurals in the fall. Watch for updates on their Instagram at USC Hellions. The team was so welcoming. If I had any ounce of coordination, I think I would try out myself. Now tossing it over to Malcolm.
Thanks, Ingrid. I appreciate it so much. And you? I think you'd make the team. I don't know about myself, but happy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Great job getting through half the week. My name is Malcolm Caminero, and I'm filling in for Shelly this week. Let's take a look at that current forecast. 64 degrees on a cloudy day, I might add, 27% humidity, and some clouds will be coming in the evening along with some wind. Let's bring you into that 5-day forecast. Spring is starting to bloom and it's full swing. Thursday will be sunny with a high of 75 and a low of 52. Overcast weather will be a theme of this week and for the next 5 days. Expect the skies to be cloudy as we end the work week and start the weekend with highs in the 70s and lows in the 50s. Friday and Saturday will also experience 40% humidity with winds up to 8 miles an hour. Now on Sunday, we're experiencing a Sunday kind of love with a high of 77, a low of 56. And by Monday, we're back to cloudy skies with highs in the 70s, lows in the 50s. And let's hear from MJ about the world of sports.
Thanks, Malcolm. With the Masters this weekend, we'll let you know who to watch out for. The Lakers and Clippers battle with massive playoff implications on the line. And USC baseball rolls on after defeating the King of the Jungle. All that and more coming up next, right here on Sports.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah. Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Welcome back to ATVN Sports. I'm MJ Newsom.
And I'm Kyla-Drew. The USC track and field team will compete in the Ron Charlene Alice Trojan Invitational this Saturday. The team recently competed in the NCAA Indoor Championship in March. The USC women's track was ranked number 2 by the U.S. Track and Field Cross Country Coaches Association, while the men are ranked 16th. The event will start with a ribbon-cutting ceremony, followed by other notable events including hammer throwing, high jump, hurdles, and meter relays. The Invitational will be held this Friday at the South Bay Throws facility, starting at 11 a.m. and 10 a.m. on Saturday at the Locher Stadium. The event is free for students, so make sure to come out to support your fellow Trojans. As Malcolm said, the weather's nice.
Well, Kyla-Drew, the weather is looking great this weekend, and if you're not going to the track and field meet, you might as well stay outside and enjoy the beautiful weather. I'm going to be at Dado Field for the baseball game, calling it on KXSC Radio. So let me tell you a little bit more about this blazing hot USC team. The men on the diamond have been super successful so far. They've won 12 out of the last 15 games, and now they got a weekend series coming up with San Diego State. They're ranked 25th in the nation and looking to do some damage this weekend after taking down LMU last night by a score of 11-9. 5 Trojans recorded extra base hits, including Adrian Colon-Rosado, who blasted a home run off the scoreboard in right field. Josh Blum picked up the win out of the bullpen, and Kyle Wish slammed the door, picking up his 3rd save. The Trojans host San Diego State this weekend. The series kicks off tomorrow night at 6:30 and concludes on Saturday.
The battle for the city is upon us once again. The Los Angeles Lakers and Clippers will go head-to-head one last time tonight before the playoffs in hopes of advancing to the postseason. The Lakers and Clippers enter the game with identical 41-38 records. This game has the potential to really shake up the season. The playoff picture is closer than fans to LeBron and courtside seats. 4 teams currently out of the playoffs have a fighting chance to stay alive. The Timberwolves, OKC Thunder, Dallas Mavericks, and the Utah Jazz. But let's talk about the teams with playoff spots. Now, if the Clippers get the W, and the Warriors and Pelicans win their remaining games, the Clippers will be the 5th seed team. That would be followed by the Warriors, then the Lakers, and then the 8th seed will be with the Pelicans. Now, what about if the Lakers win? Then the Lakers will become the 5th seed, the Warriors will remain the 6th seed, followed by the Pelicans, and then the Clippers. I'm excited to see what happens, and I'm eager to see. It's going to be a tough battle for LA, but you can catch the action live at 7 p.m. on ESPN.
Kyla-Drew, that's going to be a super fun matchup to watch, but Malcolm was telling us we're going to have some great weather, so let's take it back to some outside sports. As the April air heats up, we've got the Masters this weekend. The 87th Masters tournament tees off tomorrow at Augusta National.
Going into the tournament, I tried to get a little bit of the memories and stuff from last year out of the way as early as I could, and so that's why I played 18 on Sunday. But as far as the week has gone, just normal stuff. I mean, I have dinner plans tonight, which is pretty fun. Last year I was sitting at home eating dinner, so the dinner this year will be a bit more special.
Scotty Scheffler, last year champion, begins his first round tomorrow at 1:36 Eastern Time. He will play the first 2 rounds with Max Homa and Sam Bennett. So Kyla-Drew, we've got a lot of interesting names, a lot of experienced people, a lot of non-experienced people. Who are you thinking is going to take the 87th Masters Championship?
You know, I would say it was him 10 years ago, and I'm going to say it's him now. I'm going to go with Tiger Woods. I feel like a lot of analysts have said they don't even think he's going to make top 20. I personally think that's disrespectful. He's a very seasoned player, and this can be the Masters that he comes back. So I'm going to go with Tiger Woods.
Many call Tiger Woods the GOAT, and Kyla-Drew, I would not disagree with you. I'm going to go with a little bit more of a young guy. A guy that's kind of gotten lost a little bit because he went from the PGA Tour to the new LIV Tour headed by Saudi Arabia. It's Brooks Koepka. I feel like he kind of gets lost in the spotlight. Won the last LIV tournament last weekend. He's a 4-time major champion. He is yet to win the Masters. His best finish at Augusta, he was tied for second in 2019. I think Brooks is coming in and getting a big win this weekend. He's going to get that green jacket.
All right, well, we're going to have to talk about that, but I'm going to say Tiger Woods.
That's all we have for sports. We'll send it back to news.
Just ahead, we'll take you to USC Hallel to enjoy Passover Seder with food and singing.
Lávate las manos por 20 segundos como Elmo.
Hay algo especial acerca de este lugar. Se siente como un hogar, una sala debajo del cielo y los árboles. Rodeado de aire fresco y la naturaleza. Todo aquí para que lo disfrutemos y para que lo cuidemos. Tenemos la responsabilidad de cuidar de esta tierra que llamamos casa, de preservarla para las generaciones que vienen. Cada acción pequeña contribuye para un cambio mayor y cada uno de nosotros podemos hacer la diferencia. Hay algo especial acerca de este bosque. Es un lugar donde se hacen recuerdos y juntos podemos preservarla y protegerla.
At sundown tonight, the start of Passover begins. Let's go live to reporter John Walker, who's got more on the Jewish holiday from USC's Hillel.
Thanks, Rachel. I'm outside of USC Hillel. As you can see behind me, they are all ready to start welcoming USC students to their Passover festivities. Passover is an 8-day celebration that tells the story of the Israelites fleeing slavery in Egypt. As students start to trickle in, many will reflect on their own personal journeys, freedom, and family with their newfound families here at USC. Seder in English means order. The meal tells the story of the Israelites' journey from slavery into Egypt from freedom. Everything from the specific foods to the order it's eaten in helps tell the story. Many of these traditions date back to that final meal the Israelites ate before fleeing. I got a chance to speak with Rabbi Dov from USC Chabad and a few students here at Hallel about what Passover means to them.
To me, Passover is a time to celebrate my heritage and keep a tradition that's been kept for a very long time, and also meaningful time spent with family, eating good food.
It's always just been a great time to spend with family or friends, great food, and it's all about freedom, so I feel like that's very important no matter how religious you are.
One of the most traditional foods at the Seder is matzah. Matzah is an unleavened bread that the Jewish people will eat in commemorance of the unleavened bread that the Israelites had to eat before fleeing Egypt. They didn't have time to fully rise their bread, so they had to eat unleavened bread before fleeing. This box is just one of many of this size, that just to show you how much food is going to be at tonight's event. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, John.
Ethan, what are your plans for the rest of the evening?
Well, I hear that Stephanie Shu from Everything Everywhere is going to be here on campus in like about an hour.
No way!
So, maybe I'll go get in line. I know they really overbooked, so gotta get in line, try to get in there.
That's such an incredible experience. I saw her in that movie. I saw it in theaters recently, actually, and it was fantastic. Definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, truly a mind-blowing movie. Thank you so much for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Ethan Huang.
And I'm Rachel Hallet. For more coverage, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.